An elderly stray cat discovers the comfort of gentle affection and loving embraces for the very first time. What happened next will leave you speechless. Barnaby was a stray cat who had seen many hard years. Living on the streets of New Jersey, he had learned to survive on his own, but it wasn't an easy life. Food was scarce and shelter even more so. At 15 years old, Barnaby was considered an elderly cat. His body showed signs of all the challenges he had faced. He was skinny, with patches of fur missing, and his ribs were visible under his scruffy coat. One of his eyes was cloudy and weak, a silent reminder of the hard battles he had faced just to stay alive. Unlike younger stray cats who could roam freely, Barnaby was slower, his movements careful. Life on the streets had worn him down, leaving him tired and fragile. He had been a stray for most of his life, but he still knew a touch of kindness from strangers here and there. Sometimes he would find scraps of food left out for him or a bit of water in a dish on someone's porch. But for Barnaby, the days of wandering aimlessly, looking for his next meal or warm place to sleep, was exhausting. For older stray animals, life is particularly harsh. Some, like Barnaby, have always been strays, while others may have been abandoned as they aged or developed health issues. When pets get older and need more medical care, many families find it difficult to keep up with the cost or the time commitment. It's heartbreaking, but some older pets end up on the streets, left to fend for themselves when they need help the most. Yet, in this world, there are always people who open their hearts and homes to animals in need, giving them a chance to feel safe, loved, and comfortable. One cold winter's day, Barnaby's life took an unexpected turn. After weeks of braving the harsh weather, he found himself at the doorstep of the Voorhees Animal Orphanage, a shelter in New Jersey. The kind-hearted staff took one look at the weary cat and knew he needed immediate care. They gently scooped him up, bringing him inside to a warm, quiet space where he could rest. For the first time in a long while, Barnaby had food, clean water, and a soft bed to lie on. It wasn't a home, but it was a safe place, and that was more than he had had in a very long time. The staff at the orphanage quickly realized that Barnaby was not like the other cats. His age and health conditions made him unique, and they knew he'd need a lot of medical attention. They fed him carefully, monitored his health, and provided him with a safe, warm space to rest. Barnaby wasn't used to such gentle care, but he slowly began to trust the people at the orphanage. For the first time in ages, he felt his body relax as he drifted into peaceful sleep each night, knowing he was safe. Despite the kindness of the shelter, Barnaby's future looked uncertain. The staff knew that finding a permanent home for him would be a challenge. Most people who come to adopt pets are looking for a young, healthy animal. A cat like Barnaby, with his age and health issues, would likely need costly and frequent trips to the vet, which could be overwhelming for many potential adopters. As each day passed, the shelter staff grew worried that Barnaby would spend the rest of his days there without ever experiencing the warmth of a family again. But fate had something special in store for Barnaby. One day, a veterinarian named Ed Sheehan and his wife Claire heard about Barnaby's story. They were both deeply compassionate people, and as animal lovers, they were no strangers to the challenges that older animals faced. When they learned about Barnaby's situation, they felt a strong pull to help. Ed, who worked with animals every day, understood the kind of care Barnaby would need, and Claire was willing to offer all the love and patience it would take to make Barnaby feel at home. Ed and Claire contacted the Voorhees Animal Orphanage and arranged to meet Barnaby. The day they arrived, the shelter staff brought Barnaby out to meet his potential new family. Barnaby was weary and tired, gazed up at Ed and Claire with his cloudy eye, unsure of what to expect. But as Ed gently reached out to pet him, Barnaby felt something he hadn't felt in years, a sense of safety. There was an instant connection between Ed and Barnaby. As Ed scratched behind his ears, Barnaby's defenses began to melt. He even let out a small, rusty purr, as though he was remembering how to show affection. Claire watched with a smile, seeing how much joy this old cat brought to her husband. She knew that they were making the right choice and that Barnaby belonged with them. Ed and Claire decided on the spot to adopt Barnaby. They wanted him to have a comfortable life, to experience what it's like to be part of a family, and to be free from the worries of the streets. After the adoption papers were finalized, Ed and Claire brought Barnaby home, and they placed him gently in his new bed, surrounded by toys and blankets. Barnaby looked around with wide eyes. It was all so new to him, a home filled with love, warmth, and kindness. In the days that followed, Barnaby's transformation began. Ed made sure he received all the medical care he needed. He fed him healthy food to help him gain weight and treated his eye, giving Barnaby his best chance at a comfortable life. Slowly, Barnaby's fur became shinier, his body stronger, and his spirits brighter. Each day he grew a bit more confident, exploring his new home, discovering sunny spots by the window, and curling up in cozy corners. Ed and Claire devoted their time to making Barnaby feel loved. He had found his forever home with Ed and Claire, who showered him with love and care. In their eyes, he wasn't just a pet, he was family. Barnaby, in return, gave them his love and trust, grateful for the second chance he had been given. Barnaby's story is a beautiful reminder of the power of kindness. And thanks to Ed and Claire, a cat who had once been abandoned and left to survive on his own was now thriving in a warm and loving home. His transformation showed that with a little bit of love, even the most fragile hearts can heal, and the oldest souls can feel young again. After Barnaby passed away, Ed and Claire felt a deep ache in their hearts. They missed his soft purrs, the gentle way he leaned against them, and the warmth he brought to their home. Yet, amidst the sadness, they found comfort in knowing they had given Barnaby a loving, peaceful life. Barnaby's memory lived on, reminding them each day of the joy that had come from rescuing an animal in need, no matter their age. After a few weeks, Ed and Claire reached out to the Voorhees Animal Orphanage once again. They wanted to start a program focused on senior pets, giving these animals the attention and care they deserved. With Ed's medical knowledge as a veterinarian and Claire's warmth and dedication, they felt they could make a real impact. They called their new initiative Barnaby's Legacy, in honor of the cat who had brought them so much joy. Through Barnaby's Legacy, they focused on helping senior cats and other animals who needed special care. The goal wasn't just to find homes for these animals, but to make sure that each one experienced comfort, security, and love, even if it was just within the walls of the shelter. Ed and Claire partnered with other veterinarians and pet specialists in the community, raising awareness about the joy and companionship older animals could bring. They began organizing adoption events specifically for senior pets, telling people about the special bond that can form with an older pet. What a remarkable story. Let us know your thoughts in the comment. And until then, take care.